All right, so
Hi.
let's see if these mics actually
Should
pick
be
up our
interesting.
voice. I hope you don't hear the cars going by. That's
You
annoying.
probably do.
Really?
At least he's facing this way.
Yeah, you can hear him talking.
Oh, I just felt him pass gas.
Hi, I'm Megan,
And I'm Bethany.
and we're the Garden
Garden
Gals.
Gals. Woohoo!
Okay, so
Today's video, we're going to talk about.
3 tips for gardening,
Okay.
even while renting.
That's nice because that's what we're doing.
I have never owned a home,
Me either.
so we are.
Perfect to describe this.
Yes, this has been our life since gardening. I have never had a garden at my own home. I have always been renting. So we hope to share a few tips to make it possible if you are in a space where you feel either you can't grow a garden just because of the area you have,
Or you're not allowed.
You're not really allowed to have a, dig up
In garden,
Yeah.
big garden.
in-ground garden or a big garden, or if you're renting like us.
Or in an apartment where you actually have no physical ground
Yes, this
that you can plant in. We still have options for you.
There are options. So let's jump into the first one. All right, so
Now we're going to talk about the different options you have when we say get yourself a greenhouse.
yeah. And when I
Okay.
think of greenhouse, before I started gardening, I thought of like big structures
Yes.
or glass panes all put
The
together.
beautiful, huge ones.
Yes, the big ones that you walk in.
It's a glass house.
Yes,
It's beautiful.
I thought there's no way we can do that. First, cost, and second, we're renting. Why would I want to build a permanent structure? So I sought out different options. Okay, so let's show a couple of options. Which one do you have?
A nice tote. It's nice and broken for airflow. But
Yes.
but I mean, like, I think most people have like this random clear tote. They're like, can't find the lid.
Yeah, where'd the lids go? They're like the socks,
They get-
like what is happening?
They get eaten.
You can take this tote and you can put a tray under it, flip it over, and make yourself a little greenhouse. Now you got to be careful. If it's super hot outside, you don't even need that to begin with.
True.
But
or
if
you
you're
can
like
like
us-
prop it up.
Yeah, you can prop it up for good airflow, but that's a great way if you want to start some seeds and you have made yourself a little makeshift greenhouse.
Woohoo.
Another option is an actual pop-up, put-together greenhouse like this. I have used these 4 times now because, again, we're renting.
Yeah.
I need something I can take apart and move with. And
It's
this,
nice, a light.
yes, it disassembles. Each part does, and you can break this down so quick and easy.
So if you do move, no big deal. It's not going to take up much space, and you can pop it back up really easily.
Yep. The only thing I recommend is secure it somehow. I have a bungee cord going from one side to the other on this kennel, and it keeps it from the wind blowing it over because you don't want to experience what I have experienced and losing all of your seedlings
Oh,
because
no.
the whole thing tipped over in the wind.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's awful. Another option you have used.
The little Jiffy trays, because I don't know, I'm one of those last minute gardeners, and I'm like, oh, I'm at Walmart or Home Depot. Let me grab this. I want to start a garden. And the little Jiffy trays have worked really well for me the past 2 years when I've used those. And actually, I kind of planted things a little early in them and had excellent success a little too early. So
Hey.
just be mindful. They're usually very small area, like sizes, so you need to up pot them.
It grows. You
Yeah.
outgrow them fast.
Yeah, you outgrow them really
Okay,
quickly.
good tip for that. I have not used those, but I've seen hers and they have worked. All right, another option of portable pop-up greenhouses is this style. And this style is the same as the tall one, except for it lays on the ground. You put it together, you throw the cover on,
Now,
and you put your seedlings
Why
in.
did you get this one as opposed to the vertical one? Because I mean, they both work, and they also serve a purpose. But I'm just curious.
Well, I really wanted this one, but it was out of stock. So I got this one for $18.99 at Tractor Supply.
not bad.
Because not only can I start seeds in it, I can use this to overwinter some of my
A low
crop.
tunnel.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a perfect low tunnel.
That
Yeah,
is
because
awesome.
the bottom, there's nothing on the bottom. You can just throw it over those plants. You're like, ooh, I don't think this is going to last through a deep freeze, and this will help
genius.
get you through it. The only thing is with these, you need to monitor temperature because they can get really hot. Like today is really hot, so I unzipped this completely and let it air out. And I may even roll up the sides because it's getting hotter
Yeah.
as the day goes on. So you do have to monitor temperature. But those are some great options for a easy greenhouse to start seeds.
And one thing else to note is that you often bring in Like, it's still getting pretty cool at night here. So cool that you're still bringing in plants.
Well, it was 29 the other night, so I would not trust this below freezing at all. Like, I would not risk it. It's too small to hold the heat long. So whenever the temperature if there is 30s or below, like 39, nope, I bring it all in. I know it's a pain sometimes, but I lug them all in, put them in the kitchen until the next day, because I'm just not going to risk.
I mean, you put enough money and effort into it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. So they don't have as long of a life as like a big greenhouse for keeping it warm all night.
Yeah.
But it's still good. So say you don't have any of these options. You don't want to spend money on this. You don't keep around old broken totes. I'm not sure why I even have that.
You don't have the money for a Jiffy tray.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
Yeah, Jiffy tray. You have an option. Your car.
Yeah.
Your car is hot when the sun is on it.
Has windows like a greenhouse.
Yeah, you can roll down the windows, put it in the sunshine.
Make it work.
It may not work for everyone, because if you drive a lot, I wouldn't start your season.
Hard break. Ooh, those were my tomatoes.
Yep. Don't do that. But if you have an extra vehicle, or maybe you have a long weekend, because sometimes it just takes a couple of days for seeds to germinate.
Certain ones are really fast, like sunflowers and
so fast. So you may be able to get away with it if you
green
have a 3-day.
beans are fast too.
Yeah, you can start those on a quick weekend and in your car with monitoring. But yeah, if you don't want to spend any money, you can use your car. I've seen it work. I've heard it work.
We haven't done it, but we're not opposed to it, and we always love options that don't cost any money. So like if you really want to have a garden and you don't have money for a seed tray, use an old, like cut an old gallon jug or whatnot and pop it in your car with some seeds, and you can have some tomatoes.
Milk jug gardening, people do it too. You could do a completely free little greenhouse operation. But that's the first tip for us, from us, is make yourself a makeshift
greenhouse,
pop-up greenhouse.
The second tip is container gardening. So that can mean containers of any kind. So it could be a bucket, it can be your regular potting kind of containers, whatever you need it to be, whatever you have on hand.
Here's another option.
Like those.
These are from Aldi, actually, and they stack.
Deals.
Have you seen a green stalk? If you've seen a green stalk, it's like that, but, well, smaller and cheaper. It stacks tall, and these are great for different herbs or greens.
Yes.
You can grow them in the sides.
Small, low feeding.
Yes, I've done strawberries in them. Now, if you're going to container garden, you do want to make sure you have the proper size container for
what you're growing.
That's very important. You are not going to have success with a large tomato plant in this. It's just not going to happen. You're going to be feeding it every day. So
Definitely.
I grew my tomatoes last year in a 5-gallon bucket. I drilled holes in the sides, not the bottom.
Yeah.
That way a little bit of water would stay at the bottom in case I forgot to water. And I grew tomatoes successfully in this bucket.
I did not feed mine regularly enough, and we didn't have a great year.
I did have to feed more often because, containers, you're adding in the soil and the different compost.
It's a finite area that they're growing in, so they're going to use up all that nutrients
everything
and then
that's in
need
that
something.
Bucket container they're going to use. But you are able to do this successfully with pretty much anything.
Yeah.
I know people that have done watermelon, have started them in the 5-gallon buckets and vined them out.
That's
awesome. That's a
awesome.
great option if you're renting or you have a small space, because you just do a few containers. Yeah. You don't have to do everything. You can just do a few plants. All right, so another option for container gardening.
Your bagged soil, right?
Yes, bagged soil. You can get a bag of soil. Say you don't even want to buy containers. You're like, I'm moving next year. I'm not even going to buy containers.
I'm not investing at all.
No, I'm not.
In containers.
Nothing. You can take a bag of potting soil. You can cut the middle out of it.
Yeah.
And you can grow out of that. You just plant in the bag. And some people will even they'll put the seeds directly in it and use that toad, and they'll put it over. And we'll link a video about that down below that we saw. Yeah. I thought that was a really good option.
Genius.
Yeah. If I don't want to buy.
And I have a balcony. I can set that on like a TV tray on my balcony and have a garden.
So easy to do,
especially with little greens, salad greens, and things that aren't going to grow super deep.
Oh, especially salad greens that you can cut and keep growing.
Herbs would be nice in there
It would
too.
be good. So that's another great option for containers. Another option,
kiddie pool. I don't know if y'all have a bunch of kids, but maybe your neighbor does, and they got rid of their kiddie pool. You don't need to go out and buy a new one. Just get an old used one,
because they crack.
Yeah,
people keep them 1 or 2 seasons.
You don't even need to drill holes if
there
they crack.
Go. It saves you time now. You don't have to drill holes. It's got a crack in it.
Perfect.
Put it on the ground. Fill it with some soil.
Yeah.
good
right.
soil, not just dirt. Dirt and soil are different.
I know. I work with an agronomist.
She knows these things.
I'm terrible.
So throw some soil in there, and you can grow plants in an old kiddie pool that's broken that you
not
could
bad.
find on the side of the road. It
This
may
is
not
true.
cost you any money.
Upcycle, people. Upcycle.
Upcycle. Look on
Genius.
Facebook Marketplace. Look for people getting rid of these things. That is a great option. Another option for containers is grow bags, fabric bags.
Yeah. Some people even use their old grocery, those like reusable bags.
Yes,
that
you
you
can buy
buy.
those, 99 cents a lot of times.
Usually.
Well, sometimes they get a hole in it.
I get a lot of free ones
Yeah,
at
so
like
you
different
should have-
expos and stuff. It's too much.
Way
It's like-
too many.
It's like hoarding.
Yeah, it's at that level.
But I always forget them, so they're useless then.
So it's like instead of a bucket, it's just a bag, and you fill it with the soil and you grow out of it. Those have become very popular.
Yeah.
I've seen more people doing that.
They're
We had a
nice.
friend last year who did almost everything.
Yeah, she did.
I've seen people do potatoes in those too.
Pretty
So
good.
that is a good option for if you're limited on space or you
Mm-hmm.
cannot dig in the ground. Like for renting, a lot of people don't love it if you till up all their grass. They don't love that. So this is
Even if it's weeds, they just don't like
this
it.
is the perfect option if you want to do a garden, but you either have limited space, you can't dig in the ground, or you just want something that's easy to kind of move later.
Yeah,
Like, if
definitely.
you don't want my garden here next year, I can take my pots. and move
Bag
over
is
here.
so, it takes up no space once you dump the dirt out. And that's right, you can just spread the dirt out.
Yep. When you're done with the bags and you move, you just dump the dirt out, spread it out, and you're done. You can throw some grass seed on it if you want, which I did at our old house. I dumped the
Nice.
buckets out, threw grass seed on it, and was done. So, second tip, containers.
Containers.
The third tip for gardening anywhere, even while renting, is to do simple raised beds. Nothing crazy, something you can take down, take with you.
Yeah. Like, let's see. What have I've done landscape timbers. They're cheap, or they were prior to COVID.
Yeah.
And we didn't use any nails or anything. We kind of just Lincoln logged them, stacked them up, and I figured each year we could actually do another
Timber?
level of timbers
make it higher.
just to make it bigger, because we just didn't have a ton of money to invest, so we just did a few, and it's worked well. Like, it's worked really well, and we're about to move, and it's not going to be too much to just knock it down, essentially. Like what my
you can
toddler
take those
does.
timbers with you.
Yeah, that's what we plan on doing.
At your next place. So yeah, landscaping timbers, that's a great option. An option I have done, which is actually like right behind me. These are our simple raised beds using fence pickets and old castle stones.
Yeah.
Very easy, no tools at all. And we just threw these up very quickly. We'll link the video down below to that.
Helpful tip though, like, what kind of wood did you use again?
This is untreated cedar.
Okay.
It's the cedar
Like for
fence
privacy
pickets.
fence?
Yep.
Okay.
They're very cheap.
And those are built, I think, to hold 2x6s, but not rough cut 2x6s, because that's what my husband got. And we're gonna have to chisel them down a little on the
make them
edges.
fit.
Yeah, because they're really fat and really thick.
These will definitely fit because they're actually only a 1x6.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They fit, okay? Check the video. It'll explain it all. Another option.
Straw bale.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not something I've done, but it's something we've considered, is just getting straw bales, because it's just quick and easy. You just soak them down really good and let them kind of get started breaking down a little bit before you put your stuff in. We're going to link some videos down below that have a little
haven't
bit more
done it.
information, because we just don't, no experience here.
We haven't done it, but the only thing that kind of held me back from trying it was the different herbicides they use on them.
yes.
That's the only thing. It's hard to find.
Kind of hard to grow in something that's trying to kill something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's counterproductive.
Yeah. What? Okay. Oh,
What was the last
it was
one?
pallets.
Oh, pallets. Yes. Simple raised beds that you can take down. I got pallets for free at Home Depot on the back.
Oh, nice.
Now, you do have to check them because different ones have different colors sprayed on them, and
Yeah.
they mean different things, like how they were treated. So that is something you're going to check. You don't want something treated or sprayed
With some chemicals, because you don't really want to impart that into your
Don't
plants.
do that. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Kind of icky.
So we did have to look around, and we found some for free, and I just threw them on the ground. And
Nice and easy.
yeah, it was so easy. Just throw it on the ground.
It's perfect.
I packed it. You know what? Actually, I think I may have pulled 2 boards off the back.
Okay, she didn't just throw it on the ground.
I did. I pulled 2 boards and I threw it on the ground so that there was a good space to grow in. I was growing zucchini though,
That's
so
true.
I
You
needed
need
a
more
bigger
space.
I filled it with soil
That took
and
nothing.
compost, and then I planted zucchini in it, and
Direct
that
sown,
was
okay.
the best raised bed zucchini I have ever done.
That's kind of nice because, like, I always find it difficult when you grow and you're like trying to harvest and you end up having to step right on where like your roots are and compact it.
Yep.
So that's
you can
actually
step
kind of nice.
on the boards. It was wonderful, and I highly recommend it if you're renting because you can get pallets for free. And when you leave, I mean, we just threw them on the side of the road and wrote free, and they were gone in like an hour.
Nice.
That's all we did. We moved a few states away, so I wasn't going to take the pallets with us. But I was able to garden very successfully on this. But so those are 3 options for you to get gardening in any place you are.
Stay tuned for more videos because we're going to have some videos about that. She's got an area dug up. And
There's a
then
huge area dug up. It's going to be interesting.
some more going to happen with the raised beds too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because this is the biggest garden we have ever done. And
exciting.
That's one reason we're recording it because we want to see how we do and what we can learn from and what mistakes we make. But stay tuned.